All right, sorry. Quick technical flaw there. All right, so welcome back to another episode of DPX Live. I'm your host, Joe Warner. Welcome, everyone, as always. We got a very special episode tonight. We have Brandy in house. Angel is here with us, so it's going to be very exciting. If you watched last week's episode with Adam, we went over a lot of evidence from ELOISE. We are actually going to be doing that again tonight. We had a chance to do an investigation at ELOISE not too long ago, where Angel got to come to ELOISE and do some investigation with us. So it's going to be a special episode. I'm just looking at the chat. I'm just making sure the sound's good, so my attention's a little all over the place. But exciting episode today. A few things before we get started. We have an event coming up for Detroit Paranormal Expeditions. I always like to do a little update with that. We are going to be at the 6th Precinct in Detroit coming up here. And these are just some photos. We were there the other night. We tried to do a live feed. We're going to probably talk about it just for a few minutes off the start because some weird things happened during that live, or trying to do that live feed, I should say. But that event is going to be Friday, October 27th. We are going to have 3 different times. They're going to be 7, 9:30, and midnight. So here's how you can get tickets. And I got a little video here so I could show you once we get it going here. Go to Detroit Paranormal Expeditions Facebook page. From there, you're going to scroll down, scroll past all my videos and all our evidence that we have on there. Click the link that says DPX presents the 6th Precinct. Go down. You can click Get Tickets. From there, you'll see the different times. Choose the tickets you want. Once you purchase them, come on and join us. Like I said last time, too, we have a new feature, which is a subscription. So all you have to do is go to, again, our Detroit Paranormal Expeditions page. There'll be a subscription tab. It'll bring you to our website. From there, go down and hit subscribe, put your email in, and you'll be good to go. If you go to our page, though, we have a ton of evidence on there. So go ahead and look at it. All right, so enough talking about me. We have so much stuff that we need to go over. So without further ado, let me introduce my 2 guests tonight, Brandy and Angel. Unmute the mics, please.
Hello.
Hold on one sec.
Hi, everybody.
That one. Nope. Yeah, okay, we're good.
Hello.
How we doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Angel, can you hear us?
I'm good. I can hear you.
Good, good. Hey, real cool. Jaden, can you click A2 for me, please? Actually, yeah, that's fine. All right, so we got a really good show for you tonight. We got Angel, we got Brandy with us. I just downloaded a new audio thing, so I'm having a few audio issues with mine because I have an echo in mine. Just click. I don't know. We'll forget it. All right. So, Brandy, thank you for coming. I really appreciate you taking time and coming out with us. Angel, as always, thank you for coming as well. So these two right here do a show called The Mystic Chats. So, Brandy, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, every Thursday on Mystic Chats, Angel and I go live, and we talk about everything metaphysical, spiritual, elemental, and whatever we want at the point of time. We just chat it. I mean, we talk about everything and it's only an hour show, but sometimes we go for like 2 hours because we just always have so much to talk about. We do a little bit of the tarot cards and a little bit of reading here and there. So,
Angel, anything to add?
I think for us, it's about connecting with people who, may not otherwise have the means to do so, to get advice, help them kind of on their paths.
And what day, what time, where?
Thursday at 9 o'clock on Mystic Chats page.
Awesome. So let's get into the evidence portion now, because that's going to be the whole episode.
Yeah.
So, Angel, you got to go to ELOISE finally. We've been talking about it forever and ever. First
Yes.
impressions. Go.
It definitely, I knew before I left that it was going to be a tough one for me. And it definitely was. so many different things, experiences. I was very, very surprised by the level, the amount of activity in the very short period of time that we were there.
And Brandy, I know you've been there a bunch of times. Can you tell me a little bit about your first time and everything like that?
I don't even think I remember my first time. I've been there so many times. I can say that a few of my experiences I've had in the basement where I would pick up a male figure and I felt like it was coming at me, so I would run out of the basement. There was also another experience on the third floor where me and both of my cousins were up there, and we were walking down the hallway and we felt like this gust of wind fly at us. And when my cousin had looked down the hallway, she said she had seen a shadow figure. So I went down to where the nurse's station is, and there was nobody down there. Well, we went walking down the hallway right where the pool table and stuff was, where like the lobby area would be. And we walked a little bit past it, maybe like 6 feet, and a record, an old vinyl record that was on the filing cabinet had flown off right in front of us and slammed so hard on the ground that it broke in pieces. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah, I mean, that experience is huge.
It is.
And I know if you go to our Facebook page and our website, I know they have the YouTube video on there for it. So we did an investigation there. We had some new pieces of equipment. The deadlight, which I always talk about, which I have over there, I'll talk about a little bit later or on another show because he's actually coming on in a few weeks, so we can really discuss it then. So we did an investigation. We had a few people there. It was kind of a weird night, and the atmosphere was a little weird because if you remember and if you watched last week's episode, Adam and I were talking a lot about things that happened on the second floor, but also that big thing that happened on the first floor with the door slamming, and then we talked about the door closing and everything. So we started out on the second floor because, you know, it was Angel's first time, so we started out there, and then we went to the first floor. And I want to let you know that all the footage that I captured in this episode that we're airing tonight is actually just straight from our Facebook Live. So if you go on our Facebook page, anything that I'm showing you, I clipped right from there. So we're going to show the raw footage. I enhanced a few things. As always, we got the green screen, and I got someone else to go in besides me.
Vanna White over here.
Yep.
Vanna White.
So let's go over to our first piece of evidence. And what I'm going to do is we're going to play the clip first, and then we can discuss it. We can play it again. If you got any comments, if you don't think you heard it, if you think you heard it, if there's something on there that we didn't see that's on there, let us know.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and play the first clip.
What do you want with Angel? Do you want Angel to help you? Yeah. Well, tell us what you need help with.
So I thought it was only fitting to start the show off with the box saying Eloise at the end.
Yes.
And I thought that was very interesting because that, out of all the times that we investigated there, it's never come in that clear. And just so everyone knows, we were actually using our Geo box that night.
Yeah.
That's what we started out with. So we weren't using an app or anything like that. It was just our spirit box. So let's go ahead and play it one more time. Oh. You got to un-eyeball it. Nope, un-eyeball it. Hit transmit. Re-eyeball it. Hit transmit.
What do you want with Angel? Do you want Angel to help you? Yeah. Well, tell us what you need help with.
Angel, what's your thoughts on that?
That was the beginning where the energy got really strange for me. It obviously continued into the rest of the evening, but we can see the clips from that later. But it definitely felt like said spirit was coming in for the attachment, so to speak.
And that room for our group has a lot of history for it. Do you want to tell everyone a little bit about it?
Little one?
The second floor nurses room that we were in.
Yeah, that room, every single time we go in there, me and Joe will go in there, or Joe with anybody else, he lays on the bed, which is a fold-out bed. It's a couch.
No, that's the third floor. The second floor nurses station.
I don't.
That's where you and Chelsea were, and that's where the clip was. The second floor, it was the conference room. We'll get to that.
Well, okay. Well, me and Todd go in there a lot. We get a lot of activity. I don't know how much activity I've gotten in that building.
I know.
It all gets confusing.
I want everyone to know we've been there probably close to
over 100 times.
More than 100 times. So everything kind of blurs together at some point.
But I do get a lot of intense energy in there. Actually, last time I was in there with Angel, it's weird because I always get this woman who will never come in the room. She's a patient, and it's like she knows better to come in there, but she needs help. And she just, like, lingers, like, and paces back and forth in the hallway in front of both of the doors, but she will not enter in.
And I know I've had a lot of experiences with Todd. I know at one point I asked if he knew what I did for a living, and that was that clip where it said, and I haven't shown anyone that because I'm going to save that for another time, but it actually says you obey the law or you protect the law. And then it says, I love you. And then we got some more stuff. And so that's for another show, though. I have a special idea coming up planned for some evidence that not a lot of people have seen. So I wanted to start off with that way because we are talking about Eloise. And since the box came in and said Eloise, I thought that would be a good beginning.
Yeah.
So then, as the time went on through that room, we had it set up. We were all in the room. We were interacting with it. We had a few things come in. And, I'm a very big skeptic with a lot of things, but one thing that I know a lot of people say yay or nay to are orbs. But the light that I'm using actually takes out all the dust in the room, so it's not like a regular IR light or anything like that. And sometimes there's things that come in that are not bugs, and they originate, and you can see that they just come off screen. It's literally nothing into something, and it gets stronger. So we're going to play that clip, and then we'll talk about it here in a sec.
If you're a patient, are you still getting taken care of here?
So now what was interesting about that is I had my iPad and I was looking at the feed through my iPad with the new software we were using, and I happened to see it real quick, and the first thing I did was I wanted to go back and look at it. And what's interesting about it is, if you look at it, like I said, it comes from nothing into something. And then right before it goes off screen, if you pause it, it's actually just a circle. There's no wings, there's no nothing like that. So what I'm going to do is, we're going to do the first green screen of the night. Yeah. So I'm going to go up there, so excuse me a second. And let's go. All right, so like I said, if you look over here, it's going to originate from nothing. And I did slow it down a little bit. So it's going to loop, it's going to keep playing. And, that's what makes this so interesting, is it literally comes from nothing into something. And then if you look at the last second right over here, it's going to be a perfect circle. So right there. So, to me, that is just... It's very interesting because it's not a bug. It doesn't have any wings. You can kind of see wings on a bug, but this is just a perfect circle. And if you go back and actually watch the whole time in there are no more of this. There's no more bugs. There's no dust. There's no nothing. This is the only thing that actually comes through.
Right.
So that's what I thought was pretty interesting about it, because there was a lot of other voices, and we got some more things that we're gonna clip as far as audio. But just to have that one thing just come from nowhere into something, I think is pretty...
Yes. Well, we were getting a lot of energy in there, too.
Yes, we were.
I think
If you're a patient,
look at that,
are
I
you
think
still
I
getting taken care of here?
Sorry about that, little technical error. Go ahead, Angel, I'm sorry.
I think if you look at that, you see where I'm looking up towards that area where it comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Or something catches my attention.
Well, not to mention at the same time, when we were all in there, you and I both kept getting that strong male presence in their room.
Yes.
That had entered in also.
And I'm going to stop you right there because that's our next piece of audio evidence. So the next one is, like you said, a male.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just play the clip.
It said, Steve. Steve said he was from the 4th floor.
Okay.
And he needed help.
From Angel.
Stop it.
So let's play it one more time.
It said, Steve. Steve said he was from the 4th floor.
Okay.
And he needed help.
From Angel.
Stop it.
Angel, thoughts?
That's. I'm sorry. The energy. I hesitant to say because I'm kind of lost at where we are in time frame. But there was some things that happened either right before that or right after that that were very interesting. Like I said, that kind of hovering over me kind of feeling. Brandy can maybe add to that a little bit.
Well, there is a clip, and I didn't put it in just because I have so much in such little time. But there is a point right before that where you're like this, and then I believe the box said help or something like that, and you said, I think there's something above me. The box said something else, and then your neck like broke and you went straight to the ceiling.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there is other things that happened during that. But the stop it thing, because I know you were talking about the male,
Yeah.
and we gave him the name Steve. Why did we give him the name Steve?
He said Steve.
Did he say Steve?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But it was consistent throughout the whole night. It wasn't just on that floor. It was like he was following us throughout the night. So.
Yep.
Correct.
So then, as we're still doing the investigation through the room, we actually captured an EVP on the microphone of the camera. So we're going to play it. We'll talk about it, and then I actually enhanced it so we can listen to it a little bit better. But without further ado, here's this clip.
What do you want us to stop? That's sweet.
That's a creepy one.
That is. It's a good one.
And
That's a good one.
Uh-huh.
And just like we discussed last time, you can hear the echoes in our voice. You can, it's essentially like a cafeteria in there. It's just walls and, there's furniture and stuff, but there's no insulation. There's no nothing. The windows are open.
Yeah.
So to get something with no echo, and it's a long tone as well. It's not just a normal tone.
Yeah.
So if you didn't hear it, let's do the enhanced audio. In just a second here.
What do you want us to stop?
I know I enhanced it a lot, so I'm still getting used to that program.
I mean, but you can really hear it though without even enhancing it.
Exactly.
It's
and,
clear.
It's like I said, this is just straight from our Facebook Live feed that's on our Facebook page. It's not, I didn't record it on a memory card.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, clip it, in that sense. All I did was watch it, and when I watched it and I saw something, I recorded it straight to my computer and then, put it in the show.
Right.
So it's nothing's, enhanced or altered or anything like that. So, Angel, what did you feel about that one?
Well, I believe this is the point where I started feeling like I was being caressed on the face.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like how somebody puts their thumb and rubs it across your face. I kept telling Brandy, it feels like somebody's like rubbing my face. I felt I felt like my personal space had been invaded, and I started getting uncomfortable at that point.
So to answer Kurt's question, he said, "What is it? Could not understand." To me, it sounds like it's saying "go" because you're asking if it needs help, and it's saying "go." So let's play it the non-enhanced version one more time. And now that you kind of hear what I think it says, do you agree with that?
Right.
It says
I
go.
agree.
Let's go ahead and play it one more time.
What do you want us to stop?
So I mean it's definitely something there without a doubt.
Yeah.
There's something there. That room in general always is special. Todd and I, when we were in there, and I know Todd's I think he's in the chat. I saw his name. You know, we were in there and we were just getting affected like none other. We heard noises outside the room. We heard things inside the room. We actually caught some things on camera at that point. The K2 meter was going crazy. The box was going crazy. And both of us had to get out of that room just because it was such a strong energy. But the second floor, it's always a good time. Yeah. But we are going to move down to the first floor now. So on the first floor, what we decided to do first is we did a little bit of a test, and Chris did a different a method of trying something. Can you tell everyone about that?
That is more of, I don't even know what it's called, like a deprivation where it cuts off his senses in a way, right? It makes it stronger.
Yeah, so he wears the headset, so it cancels out the noise. He has the SP7 Spirit Box, or the radio, the hack radio going. Right. He has glasses or blindfold on, so he can't see anything. And I'm just gonna play one clip from it. If you do get a chance, really watch it because he was on point for a good 20 minutes.
It was great.
Every question was a direct answer back. So the clip that I'm gonna show you, just to kind of, because I had to get it a little bit shorter down, is right before this. Jeff asked how many people are here, and he says 8, and that's kind of where this starts. So let's go ahead and play that clip.
You said 8. There's 8 of us here. Do you know anyone's name?
8.
You're right. There is 8. If you don't know anyone's name, can you say "don't know"? Tell Chris that.
Jeff?
Wow. Pretty good.
Yeah, so that clip right there, and I know it froze, but at least the audio came through with it, which is fine. Chris did an outstanding job with that. I mean, he was super composed, and I know, Angel, you were like on me like glue at that point because you said you had stuff kind of affecting you, and I know I was running around trying to do all the audio stuff and whatnot, but I know you were definitely sensory deprivation. Thank you, Todd. I know you had some strong feelings right in that area. Do you want to talk about it a little bit?
Interestingly enough, when Chris started his session, I was standing by the open door where we ended up doing the session later, and I kept feeling like something was trying to push me, so I kept moving on the other side towards the hall, going the other direction to get away from that room. And then you guys took me in there, so it was kind of interesting. Definitely a lot of heavy pressure that felt like it was enclosing on you there.
Yep, and the next room that we're going to start going over, we never investigated that room. I don't think we've ever used that room. I think we've ever really been in it. The only time that it was ever used was, and I know they're in the chat, Donnie, Wendy, I'm not sure if I saw Lindsay, when they came and did their Weird Weekends event, they put all their equipment in there. But I believe that's really the first time that room was ever used.
We never did it.
Definitely a strange energy in there, and probably some of the best evidence we're about to go over, in my opinion. So the next thing is a really unique thing. So we started using the app Necrophonics. Yeah, great app. We use it a lot. Thing about that app is you'll have different things come through as far as voices, but they're not actual words. It's just kind of gibberish.
Right.
It never does more than, I would say, a second, unless it's a word or something like that. You agree with that?
Yeah, I agree.
One person that Brandy, and I think Angel, you interacted a little bit with this person here, was Rose. Can you tell us about Rose a little bit?
Rose is one that I communicate with a lot at ELOISE. She sings to us. And it is so soft and beautiful, and every single time we turn a box on, I can kind of feel her. It's almost like she gives me a hint that she's there by singing just a little tiny bit, and then she just comes out full blown and starts singing. I think that she may have. I haven't fully gotten if she was a patient or a nurse or did the therapy with singing yet. But I am leaning more towards more of a therapy, type of ordeal with her singing. But it's every single time she comes through, and we finally got her name on the box.
Yeah, and what's interesting about this is, well, as always, I want to talk about it. I'm just, me spending hours and hours clipping this, I'm so excited about this evidence to show you guys that I just want to keep talking about it. And I've been biting my tongue. So let's go ahead and play this clip, and then we'll talk about it again.
Who's behind me? I told you, the woman's here singing.
Isn't it Rose?
No, I was singing earlier.
Wow, no.
So I've personally never heard her do that.
No. Well, I hear the singing and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
but it's short. It's not.
It's not long.
And then the first singing was actually, to me, it sounded like she sang Rose.
At the beginning, I heard that.
Yeah, so that's and then the second one, but to have like the tone of the voice kind of do that and everything. I mean that
It was pretty good.
that was not the app at all. Let's go ahead and play that one more time.
Who's behind me? I told you, the woman's here singing.
Isn't it Rose?
No, I was singing earlier.
Wow, no.
There's only one Bennett here too. So.
Now, do you guys remember when we first got there and walked into the main area where everybody was kind of setting up? And I said, hey, I hear singing. Do you guys remember that?
Are you talking about when we first went in the room or when we first got to ELOISE?
No, when we first got there.
I wasn't with you. I was setting up equipment, so I only saw you when you came into the actual room itself.
Yeah, that's where I was when I heard it.
Oh, was it? Well, that
Yeah.
doesn't surprise me.
No, not at all.
I mean, I've heard so many things there that it really doesn't surprise me. So what do you think about the singing, though? I mean, you were there. You heard it live. On top of that, you were there for when we used the app a lot. Did anything like that come through again?
No.
Not whatsoever.
No, it was maybe one more time right after that, but it was very short, and then it was gone.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I didn't hear it sing like that the rest of the night.
No, and that's what gets me is, and you can even see Todd's reaction, is he kind of just looks at you, his eyebrows go up, and I talked to Jeff about it, and we all agree, we've heard singing come through, and sometimes it could be the app, sometimes it can't be, but for this, that's over a good 2.5, 3 seconds.
Right, exactly.
And that app is not designed to do that at all. And I know, Todd, you're in here, correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, that app is not designed to do anything like that. Let's play that one more time, just because I really like it, and I think the voice is beautiful,
It
to be honest
is.
with
It
you.
is really beautiful.
So let's play that one more time.
Who's behind me? I told you, the woman's here singing.
Isn't it Rose?
No, I was singing earlier.
Wow, no.
So I mean, I don't really have a
It's just-
explanation for it.
It's just so beautiful. It just gives you that like amazing, relaxing, good feeling.
And what a lot of people don't realize about ELOISE, and I told you a little bit of history about it, is ELOISE was pioneered like for the mental medicines and everything like that. I'm sure I'm not using the right word there, but one of the biggest things they were the pioneer for music therapy. And there was an old video that we got of the main doctor, which was Dr. Gruber, and he does a video talking about music therapy with the piano, and
It
it's
was
an
the
old
harp.
Yep. And
Harp music.
what's that?
It was the harp music.
The harp.
on
Yep.
top of the
And I think that video is from I know a long time ago, filmed at ELOISE, but music therapy was one of the biggest things that they started doing there to try to treat the patients, is teaching them how to play the piano, how to
Right.
sing, and do something different. So, I mean, that piece of evidence right there, I mean,
That's a good one.
I for all the times I've used that app, which is probably 100 times now, never heard that come through.
Yeah.
So let's go to the next clip. We'll go ahead and watch it, and then we'll talk about it.
Do you need help? Do you want us to help you?
Brandy, do you feel anything to your right side?
Not right at the moment. I feel it more back behind me,
Kind of near like your...
like right here.
Alright, so let's dissect that for a second here. It came, again, it appeared out of nowhere, because if you actually watch it, it doesn't come from out of the screen. It starts like right before it.
Right.
And it gets brighter, it comes down, and it actually gets to about your leg. And if you look really closely, it actually comes back up and then goes towards the wall and follows the wall outward to actually where Angel was, Megan was there, and then I was behind the camera. And I saw that live once again.
But what was funny though is that whole night when we were in that room, our legs kept getting touched, and like almost like they were being pinched. So
That's the feeling I always get, is like my ankles are being strapped down. I
Right.
think I mentioned it a bunch of times
Yeah.
while we were in that room. So again, all these clips that I'm showing you, if you watch it, there's only a few times that this happens where there's stuff that bright. There's other ones on there that, you know, could be, could not be. I don't put those in there. I need to know 1,000%. And if you really look at it, you pause it, you zoom in on it, it's a circle. And that's what I'm looking for, is that perfect circle. Because you can tell a bug from not a bug, in my opinion.
You really can.
And Mike Simpson just wrote in there, he said, I love the clip you did. You can see the orb come down, and I'm not big on orbs either. And a lot of people are not big at orbs.
Right.
I mean, like I said, I'm very critical of them. And the ones that, any doubt in my mind whatsoever, I don't clip them.
Yeah, we're the same way.
Yeah, so let's play that one more time.
Do you need help? Do you want us to help you?
Brandy, do you feel anything to your right side?
Not right at the moment. I feel it more back behind me,
Kind of near like your...
like right here.
And we were just kind of discussing, we'll talk about what we were discussing later, because it's kind of weird.
It is really
And yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But great clip. So, again with the orbs, the next one is kind of different, and you'll see why, because Brandy interacts with it, something happens with the orb, and then Angel's name actually comes through the box. So, again, this is one of those, another amazing pieces of evidence that, you know, it's so hard to capture, but we're getting it. So let's go ahead and play that clip.
The energy is getting more intense. Something keeps touching my leg.
Something keeps touching me too.
Definitely. That just said my name.
Angel is.
Tell me who. Alright, so, Brandy, Angel, what do you think about that clip?
That right there that's where I started feeling that the energy was getting really intense. I could tell by the way it kept touching my leg. My leg was getting touched constantly. I was feeling the energy behind me and on the side of me getting intense. It was insane. It really was.
Angel, did you hear your name?
Yes, I did. I think this is at the point where the kind of energy changed. It got more intense, but it got a little darker as well.
Mm-hmm. So let's dissect this a little bit more. Another DPX.
The energy is getting more intense.
Brandy, as soon as she grabs her leg, if you look,
Something keeps touching my leg.
funny thing, something keeps touching you too. And then it says my name. So,
That just said my name.
Angel is.
that's the Angel.
Tell me who.
So it'll play over here in a second. Again, watch. As soon as she touches the leg, it's behind over her right shoulder. And I think
The energy is getting more intense.
behind her shoulder. So she reacts saying, I feel something. And it warms, comes over.
Something keeps touching my leg.
Something keeps touching me too.
And then Angel says her name. I think it's interesting.
That just said my name.
Angel is.
She grabs her leg.
Tell me who.
And whatever it is, and like I said, it gets light to bright. Goes,
The energy is getting more intense.
comes from her body. So let's go ahead and watch that clip one more time with the audio.
Something keeps touching. The energy is getting more intense. Something keeps touching my leg.
Something keeps touching me too.
Definitely. That just said my name.
Angel is.
Tell me who.
So, like you said, this is where the energy started changing. And that brings us to probably one of the best pieces of evidence that I personally think I captured.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've seen it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Angel, I know you've seen it. We spent probably an hour, 2 hours. I know you personally did. Angel, I'm sure you have. I spent multiple hours clipping and zooming and just trying to debunk this any way,
Yeah.
shape, or form, and I can't. So let's play the clip. We'll talk about it. We'll
Yeah.
play it a few more times. I have multiple zooms and whatnot for the green screen. If people can help me try to understand this, please do. But I think this is probably one of the best pieces of
Yeah.
evidence we've captured.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So let's go ahead and play it.
You need to come up here for me, please. Stand right here in front of me, because I don't know. For some reason, I feel like something was gonna. Yeah, because I feel like something's gonna. Was like trying to get in back of you.
So this is a slow motion of it now. I want you to pay attention to Brandy's left arm, right around her elbow. And at this point, Brandy's telling Angel to come forward because she felt like something was behind her.
Right.
I'll
Well-
leave it to you for a second.
Well, the thing is I'm going to point this out because, like you said, I've went over this video I don't know how many times. You know, being a psychic medium, I go over all my work. Anything that includes me into it, I go over it I don't know how many times because I don't want something out there that's not legit.
Mm-hmm.
I have gone over it. You can look at my arm, my hand, everything up against my leg. It does not move at all whatsoever when that shirt moves. Not even my body twisting. Up until
Your arm gets pulled.
it gets pulled, well, I feel it. And I'm like, okay, Angel, because I felt like it went behind me and then it went behind Angel to attach onto Angel. So that's when I made Angel come in front of me so that way I can protect her back because I knew mine was protected because I was feeling it. So I kind of made her come up here. I'm like, you know what? This ain't feeling right. He's behind me. He's behind you. Come up here so I can, you know. And, yeah, it's...
Angel, what's your feeling on that?
Well, I had pretty shortly before that had just leaned over on the desk, and so I was watching it over and over to make sure that nothing that I had done had touched her shirt. But you can clearly see that I am not in a position to where I could do that. The energy was strange, and I kept telling Brandy that, you know, at various points of the night, I kept feeling like something was sitting on, you know, trying to sit on my shoulders or sit on my back. So it kind of all fits with everything that was happening prior to that as well.
Yep. And so what we're going to do is we're going to watch it again. It's going to be the normal speed, the slow speed, and then Brandy's going to go on the green screen and do for her first time and really dissect it. We got zoom-ins and everything. So let's go ahead and play that clip.
You need to come up here for me, please. Stand right here in front of me, because, I don't know, for some reason I feel like something was gonna... Yeah, because I feel like something's gonna... was like trying to get in back of you.
All right, so we're gonna go to the green screen now. All right, so you'll see how it's pulled,
Okay.
and she tells, and this is gonna loop over and over and over again because we're gonna spend some time on this. Move your hand back a little bit. You're blocking it.
Well, I want to show them.
So then I do a really big close up here. And you can see her arm is not moving at all.
All right.
So it's going to go back to the beginning now, and Brandy, go ahead. Give it a sec here. And we'll go back to the beginning. There we go.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So now, like right here where my hand was down, you can clearly see right here my arm and hand is up against my leg. So it's not moving. Like, look. It's not moving at all, but yet the shirt and the arm like kind of moves. But I felt it at the same time I was telling Angel to go ahead and do it. So it's just, to me, it all adds up. And it's so weird that you caught that, because I didn't even take notice of that until you went over the audio and the video.
And what's weird about it is I actually captured something else different in this video, and I'll point it out in a minute, because it's one of those that's it could be, maybe not. I did talk to Christopher Brewer about it because I wanted his opinion on it, and he has some strong feelings about it kind of being hand in hand in what's happening with Brandy.
Right.
But I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, I was going over that, and you know, I'll say I actually didn't even catch this. I was showing someone else the video. Beth Moore is the one who actually pointed this out to me, because I said, "What do you see in the video?" And she said, "Oh, you're talking about Brandy's shirt being pulled." And I'm like, "Well, what are you talking about?" And then she showed me, and
Yeah.
I mean, I spent hours. I mean, I think I messaged like 10 people. I was working midnights. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning because she just got back from a trip, and I showed it to her, and so it's definitely weird. So let's go back to the have Brandy come back over here. We'll go back to the main screen here. So, you know, that piece of evidence right there is like I said, I think one of the best things that I've captured. I've been dying to show everyone, and I'm one of those that has trouble like keeping everything in. I kept it in for a few days, so I'm pretty proud of it.
We all have, because you don't know how bad I wanted to post about it, because it just matches up so well with everything that, you know, Angel and I were feeling at that time around that location.
And every piece of evidence that I've been showing in that room has been in unison, so I haven't been jumping around or anything.
Exactly.
Again, the raw video is on its Facebook Live. You can go back and you can watch it yourself. I mean, there's nothing different. I'm sure there's stuff that I've missed. And, and you know, I've been doing it with little sleep, so you know, I kind of sure there's stuff that I missed. But Angel, you have any other thoughts, or you know, I mean, I'm dumbfounded by it still, to be honest with you.
I'm not sure what other evidence you have coming up from that room, so I don't want to say anything just yet.
I got one more.
Also, I can't see the chat, guys. The words are so tiny, so if anybody's saying anything, I can't see it.
And I want to say hello to Reaper Gamer from Niagara Falls. How you doing? Thank you for joining. Anyone in the chat, you can put where you're from too, by the way. I'll give you a shout out. So I want to point out the one piece of evidence that is, you know, I think it's pretty cool, because it's right before your shirt gets pulled, and it's right above Angel and I's head.
Okay.
So if you watch above my head, right before her shirt gets pulled, it's almost in unison. There's a white mist that goes to the right, or to the right frame of it, so it'll be our left. And as it moves, the shirt gets pulled too.
Yeah.
It's a little bit hard to see. It'll probably be a little harder on your phones or where you're watching. Hello, Daphne from Texas. But let's go ahead and watch it, and let's see what you think.
You need to come up here for me, please. Stand right here in front of me, because I don't know, for some reason I feel like something was gonna... Yeah, because I feel like something's was like trying to get in back of you.
Alright, so right at the pillar between us.
Okay.
It's moving right now. Again.
I see it now.
It's very
by
faint.
the window.
but it's in the same direction as your shirt goes.
I see it now.
So it's one of those hard things. When you got time, I'm gonna post a lot of this. I know we both are. We're gonna post a lot of tonight's stuff. So definitely take time and look at it. Real quick, Chase Allen, hello from Alabama. Hello, thank you for joining. Mike Simpson, Frasier, Michigan. Mike, thank you for coming on, and thank you for having me as a guest the other day. Elaine from Wayne, I'm gonna say Wayne, Michigan. So hopefully I'm right on that. Welcome, Gina Marie. Welcome. Miss you. Need to come back.
Yes.
I like that picture you posted the other day too. It was really good.
With their auras.
Yeah, the purple around. Yeah, that was a really good one. All right, so I there was a lot of this next thing that was going on. I didn't clip a lot of it because it always happens to me while I'm there. Daphne, I don't have it on the green screen, but I did clip it larger so I can send it to you later. One thing that is very repetitive with me at ELOISE is the word I want to use, is for me to get out, for me to get up. I do think that there's probably one or two spirits that don't like me there. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So this one was kind of weird. And we'll play the clip and then we'll talk about it.
Your singing is beautiful.
Joe.
And that was a deeper voice, some of the deeper ones that we've gotten. And to me, it says, Joe, leave. Angel?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear it.
You couldn't hear it? Let's play it one more time.
Your singing is beautiful.
Joe.
It's so deep. It almost sounds like a transformer, like Joe, leave.
Right?
Yep. And it said leave a few other times in there, but that one was the most pronounced one. That's why I wanted to display that piece of evidence.
You weren't even in the room at the time.
Well, no, he was in the doorway.
I was in the doorway because at that point we were getting ready to move to another. We were getting ready to move to the second floor where the bed was at. So at that point, the energy in that room was, in my opinion, incredible.
It was very.
Like I said, with the orbs and stuff, I'm very big. It has to be big like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's, one of those things like you watch it. There's a lot of different things going on in there, and I can't tell if it's a bug or an orb. Some of them kind of interact with what we're saying. So I'm going to leave that up to everyone else to make their own determination.
Yeah,
I only want to put the hard ones that I know for a fact is good evidence.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't want to put any doubt in there. I don't, I'm not about that. That's why I spent hours and hours and hours reviewing this. I send it to multiple people that I trust to get their opinion. And if one person really doesn't have a favorable opinion on it, to me it's not 100%.
Right.
Everyone's going to be 100% with it. So that's how I do my evidence. I know a lot of people do the same thing, and I know I always talk about how Brandy and I are always doing everything, and I include Angel in everything now too. And since we've met, I'll send them everything that I got.
Yeah.
And I want everybody's opinion, because there's been times that I thought I've captured something. And I'm like, that's the best thing in the world, and I'll send it to you, and you're like, no.
And I will too. I'll tell them, no, you can't. No, that's not it. But it's cool because we always investigate together, and when we do, we always catch something. It's always.
Even at the 6th precinct, a random photo, there was the thing above us.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just something's always there with us. So we got one more piece of evidence that I want to do. This is why we were on the second floor, because I know we got about 10 minutes left, so I want to kind of wrap it up here soon. This is on the third floor. I'm sorry, third floor with the bed. And this is the bed. I did an evidence review on it. I think it was one of my first ones. Videos on our Facebook page as well, where it tells me to sit up multiple times. That's the first time we used the box in there, and for whatever reason, it's always for me to sit up and get out.
Yeah, it is.
This one was a little different. It did tell me to sit up, get out, and all that, but this is Angel's prime experience, or best experience in there. Maybe not the best, so I'm going to play the clip. I'm going to watch her get bright red, and then we'll talk about it. Let's go.
You guys, this is going to sound really weird. I can't shit.
All right, so, yep, there we go. So,
A little red here.
Yeah, a little red. That's all right.
So,
Well,
I have to say that this is the first time in all my years that anything like this has ever happened to me. When it first happened, I immediately just went like this and said, "Guys," but it felt like somebody grabbed my chest
breast.
inappropriately, and then the box says boobies while I'm trying to explain what has happened. So
and you were trying to be
it's,
very gentle how you were saying it too. Where I know Brandy would
We
say
just say
it's,
we just say it. I don't care.
we were live, and I was new to the environment, so I was trying to be
so
Right.
appropriate.
So let's play that one more time. Again, I heard it, and that was my first time when I watched it. It was clear as day. It just says boobies.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then you flat out said it grabbed my boobs. So let's go ahead and play that again.
You guys, this is gonna sound really weird. You know something? You feel like something's what? I can't shit. Touch me.
What's funny is I should have recorded it for another second. She tells Brandy, and Brandy's eyes, and
I'm like-
it's just like a big like okay. How long afterwards did that actually affect you?
Actually, I'll be honest with you. I had some effect with that after I even came home. But it was kind of more of a, oh, hey, I'm putting two and two together. But
And I don't mean to get so personal either. So if I am, you don't have to discuss it.
no, you're fine. Eloise, it affected me on a really strange way on a whole other level. Emotions were weird. I really felt like something was just kind of hanging on my back, inappropriately, hanging around me, if that makes sense. And I have not experienced that before.
There's something I want to add to, just to let people know with psychic mediums, is that when something like that does happen, even though it's from energy and it's from a spirit, it is also still very violating to our personal space to be touched like that. So whether it is great evidence, at the same time we struggle with that because it is,
it's just like
personal
getting
space.
scratched. You're not inviting that person or that spirit, or even if it is a person,
Right.
A regular human being, you don't invite them into your personal space.
Exactly.
So it violates you there. But then to
Yeah.
have a spirit do it, and that's where attachments and stuff like that come.
Exactly.
That's a great way to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Talking about Eloise, I know for us it's always going to be our place.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it
Always.
always will be.
Always.
Angel, I know you. I mean, like you said, it affected you for a while. And I remember before you even went there, you guys went down to Ohio and you passed by there, and I remember you messaging me, and you said that you just had like an off feeling about it just from the outside.
We all did though that week, but yes, that weekend you did.
Yeah, when we pulled in the parking lot, and I looked at you and I said, "We gotta go." I mean, we no more than turned the car around, and you was like, "What?" And I was like, "It literally feels like a car set on me. We need to leave."
No.
But with my experience with Eloise, it was very intense and physical for me because immediately I had face caressing. When we were on the first floor, I had all the rib pain, and it kept saying hurt and hit ribs. And then we went up to the third floor, and I had that happen. So I felt like it had a physical. It was intent was physical harm for me.
Yeah.
Well, I got to wrap it up here. We're down to the last few minutes, so we got a few more things. So let's. I'm not sure what slide you're going to there, buddy.
Commercial.
The last slide, the thank you slide. So there we go. All right. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Great evidence tonight. I'm so happy I got to share it with everyone because I do have a passion with doing the show. And my main reason, I know I've said it a few times this week on other shows, is I want you, the viewers, to be able to review evidence with us. I don't want us just to talk about it and then put it on Facebook. I want you guys to see it. I want you guys to talk about it. I want you guys to interact. So that being said, if you saw something in that clip that we didn't see, shoot us a message. If there was something in there you need more clarification on, or you want to, debunk it and you want to talk about it, message us. We have no problem with it. We got nothing to hide. I mean,
Right,
I'll send
exactly.
you the raw footage that I have. That's what's good about the paranormal field is we're not here to push anything on you. If there's something that I showed you that you don't agree with, that's fine. I mean,
We love
everyone has-
opinions.
yeah, I mean, everyone has their own opinions about everything. Like I said, if there's something you do want to talk about more, or you want me to send you the clip itself, I have no problem doing that. I'm going to be posting everything on Facebook. So real quick, some events coming up. The first event, and I'm going to let you talk about it here just for a quick second.
Okay, October 4th and 5th, leading into the 6th, which is a Sunday, Angel and I, along with Doogie from the Tennessee Rat Chasers, Joseph from DPX Live, and Tim Woolworth and many others, we will be doing Oglaze Village down in Ohio. Austin Maynard is also throwing the event along with us. Awesome person. He has great events down there. He also does Haunted Brian.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, please, come join us. Our event, it's going to be amazing. We are doing up to, I believe, 11 to 12 buildings, splitting them up between both nights.
So it's going to be an amazing event.
Yes.
He's going to be on my show next week, and we are actually going to go over every location and kind of give the history about it to kind of bring us into that event. The next event, real quick, because I'm just about out of time here, Weird Weekends, they're going to be at the 101 Para Cafe November 1st and 2nd. The Southern Gypsies are going to be there, along with Brian Downhausen. I'm going to be there. I can't wait to go. I know Brandy had a personal experience there, which maybe if she comes back next week, we'll talk about.
We'll see.
So that's going to be an awesome event. All right, so as always, thank you everyone for tuning in. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Facebook page. Send me messages, give me show ideas, anything and anything. Click the like button, click the subscribe button. Share it out. I want to bring as many people in as possible because I do have a really big passion for this. So that being said, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Good night.